Adem, you're happy with the way they fought through? I mean, there's a couple of times there where it looked like they might have their foot in their throat a little bit. Are you happy with the way they fought back and kept their composure?
Yeah, no doubt. And to be fair, we've put a lot of work into our mental mastery and staying really engaged in the game. I think, like, you look across the competition, the momentum swings in game and are just getting bigger and bigger and harder to deal with. And with the young group, we're learning and growing in that area. So, and at times it can be positive momentum. So yeah, part of that is for a coach, really proud of that effort, but at the same time, frustration. So it's mixed emotions in the coach's box and in the rooms. One, yeah, like you said, we are proud of our fight and we didn't give up and our spirit, and that can't waver. But at the same time, the frustration on allowing easy scores and 9 goals from stoppage, and we couldn't get it out of our back end. We're getting dominated for territory. So there's things within our game that just weren't good enough. So yeah, it's mixed emotions really.
Fags just said that you guys won red time goals 34 off red time score 34-6. How much do you sort of lean on that, especially given your halves in the first 3 weeks?
Yeah, well, it's not around the time, and I think knowing Fags, I know that he rates that really highly, and it is. It's a really important part of the game, but ours was just around staying engaged in the game. They had momentum, we needed arrested, and a lot of the times we did that late in quarters. So credit to our younger boys for staying and sticking to it and sticking to a plan. Yeah, we just need to do that for longer. So yeah, last week we really had an emphasis on starting well. I thought our effort and intent was solid early. They were just better than us. They were stronger than us. Yeah, they're big bodies. They were testing the tackle, going from inside to out. We would have our opportunity and we'd just cough it up, and I was sweating on that. So yeah, and that's what's going to happen. They're they've got a lot more experience than us. So yeah, said it all leading into the game. The opportunity for some of our young boys to be playing and leaning on some premiership players and some quality AFL players. So yeah, for Sammy Lawler and Harry Armstrong to go about their business and to fight out the whole game. Sammy got some exposure in the midfield in the last half, especially. Probably one of his better games. And seeing him leaning on some quality players in Lockie Neal and Dunkley and McCluggage, he held his own, which is nice. And for Harry at one stage was battling, but same sort of thing. He just stayed engaged. He kept trying to fight and give us a contest, and he ends up kicking a couple in a row. And that's what we've got to. We're growing that, and hopefully they can get some belief with that as well with their younger boys.
Do you expect Lawler to get more midfield time as he sort of grows his tank and that sort of thing this season?
Yeah, a bit of. He is a great forward as well. Like his polish and his execution forward of the ball. That's the type of player he is. We want him to hit the scoreboard, and at the same time he'll get the exposure as a midfielder. So. Yeah, so we'll try and grow that and make sure that we're not exposing him too much too early. But we need, and we do value what he does forward of the ball. So you're always going to have a different rotation. We want to have multiple guys that go through there. Jack Ross is helping through there, and Camden McIntosh, and I know I talk about our younger players a lot, but when we're talking about momentum and helping players deal with mental mastery and staying engaged with the game and dealing with momentum swings. Our leaders were terrific at that today. Nathan Broad and Nank and Tim Taranto, Jacob Hopper, Nick Vossen, like their experience and the guidance they're giving our younger players out on the field is so good for a senior coach and for a coaching staff. Like we had some issues with trying to rest momentum in other games earlier in the year where we had to wait till half time, whereas now we're starting to see some adjustments in the middle of a quarter, which is obviously a credit to the leaders, transferring that message and executing it. So yeah, we've just got to do that for longer.
How much do the younger guys learn from an experience like this playing against the reigning Premier?
Yeah, well, that was a theme leading into the game. We want to learn, we want to push them, we want to try and win. I think we went down on expected score by 10 points. So we're going to be really honest with the way we review every game. But at the same time, it's growth. as I said, Luke Traynor looked like an AFL player again, and he's playing against some quality premiership players. So Seth Campbell, Steely Green, I get it. Our first year players and our draftees from this year are getting highlighted, but we've got some boys that haven't played 25 games yet, and they're starting to really look like quality AFL players. So we miss Ryan Mansell. We missed him today, and for those other two lads inside, and for Tyler Sonsi to help fill that void of Mance today was a step in the right direction.
Does Noah Bolger come straight back in next week?
Well, he hasn't played a game yet, so his training loads will probably warrant that he will be, but we've just got to wait and see. We'll have selection later in the week and see what the balance of our team looks like. Jacob Light went forward today, and we helped out with our second ruck, and he did that pretty well. And so we'll just work that out. So we'll just have a really measured decision, but it's good to have him available.
There were thousands of fans still outside when the ball was bounced today because of the security getting beefed up after the gun scare the other night. Was that much of a talking point for you guys, that incident during the build-up?
Oh well, between it's obviously staff, and when you see that, you can't help but talk about it. If it means that you've got to get here a little bit earlier, knowing that the security's beefed up, you're going to take that every day of the week. I'd hate for anything like that to happen ever again. So, hopefully our crowd and our Tiger Army just deal with that and get in a little bit earlier, because the safety's paramount.
McIntosh was on Neil early, but how much did you went off him or varied the matchup? How much did you consider it a hard tag at half-time when he...
Yeah, we tried. We started on McCluggage at the start, then Lachie Neale gets off the chain, and this is why they're such a good team, and they're reigning premiers for a reason. After half-time, Lachie Neale's numbers were through the roof, so we swapped that, and then, as I said, later in the game, we just dropped all of it and gave Sammy Lawler an opportunity and Tyler Sonsi an opportunity to get through there. So you're always dealing with those things and trying to work out whether the exposure to a younger player is more important than winning the game, I suppose. But Camden tries his backside. Anything I ask, he just tries so hard. He's a great teammate, great Richmond man, and we just tried something different, and they were too good for us in the end.
Josh Smillie played half in the VFL early today. I mean, how many weeks do you think he needs there before he'll be considered for AFL selection?
Oh, it's not around how many weeks. It's just when he's got to get in form. Like the poor kid, it's his first game of footy, and there would have been a bit of scrutiny on everything I read this morning for our VFL team was about him playing. So, and it's fair enough. He's a talented kid, and so he got through, I think, 2.5 quarters over 3. He'll get through another full game. And just start piling on some performances that warrant AFL selection. So whether he's done enough this week or the week after, or if he needs a month of footy just to get some touch, well, that's going to warrant bringing him back in. We're in a position right now that we really want that selection integrity. We'll give an opportunity to Tyler Sonsi and Thompson Dow and Jack Ross. I don't want to just give gift games to players. They've got to earn it. So every time they put the jumper on, they know that they've earned their position, and he'll be in the same boat.
How pleased are you with Seth Campbell's performance at the moment? I mean, he's almost matched his career best last year. In 3 weeks, he's kicked multiple goals every week. Yeah,
and he has, and last year he took a massive step, going back through time, late last year, it sort of caught up on him. He needed a week off because he hadn't played 18 games in a row before, so he was still learning the caper, and took a massive step forward, and then this year he's taken another step. He looks like a quality small forward, potent, hard to play on, clever, and he's hitting the scoreboard, but it's his pressure. Today I couldn't unsee him getting up the ground and filling the corridor and putting pressure on, spoiling. I don't think he's ever had a spoil in his life, but he's starting to value all those aspects of his game, and it's coming, let alone the talent with the ball. He's starting to get a real rounded game, which is nice, and like I said, he's in, not only today, he's in great form.
Do you use him as an example, given he's a year ahead of all your newcomers this year, this is what hard work can get you, the rewards? Yeah,
and time. It takes time to belong on an AFL field, and he's starting to feel like he belongs. And some players, like Sammy Lawler, looks like he's belonging already, but he's a talented kid, and he's picked one for a reason. But it might take other players time. So Ben Miller's played 50 games today, and it took him 7 years. So we don't want it to take that long. But at the same time, there's going to be a variation in how quick you can belong on an AFL field, and Right now, we're trying to fast track that, and Dowie and Sonsi and those boys are getting past that barrier, and now we expect them to play really well at the level, and we're just trying to fast track the boys that haven't got to 10 games yet.